I was talking to my friend Margaret the other day. She's 72, sharp as a tack, and still plays bridge every week. But she told me something that really stuck with me. She said, "Some days I walk into a room and forget why I'm there, and it scares me a little." Now, if you've ever had one of those moments, where a name slips your mind, or you misplace your glasses for the third time that morning, you're not alone. In fact, most of us over 70 have been there. That little voice in the back of your mind whispers, "Is this normal, or is something wrong?" Well, I'm here to tell you, those little lapses, they're completely normal. But here's what's even more important. Your brain is far more resilient than you might think. And the best part? There are simple, natural ways to keep your mind sharp, your memory strong, and your brain healthy. No fancy pills, no expensive treatments, just everyday habits that anyone can do. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'll share with you 5 little-known secrets to boost your brain health naturally so you can stay sharp, engaged, and full of life for years to come. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people in their 80s and even 90s seem just as quick-witted as they were decades ago? Maybe they're still reading, learning, cracking jokes, or even running businesses. What's their secret? It's not just good genes, though those help. It's not luck either. The truth is, they've figured out how to work with their brains, not against them. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So, let's start with the first secret, and this one might surprise you. Secret number 1, feed your brain the right kind of fuel. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." Well, that goes double for your brain. The foods we eat don't just affect our waistlines, they play a huge role in how well our brains function. Think about it like this. If you put cheap gasoline in a luxury car, it won't run smoothly, right? Your brain is the same way. It needs premium fuel to perform at its best. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is brain fuel? First and foremost, your brain loves omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are like the building blocks of brain cells. They help keep the connections between neurons strong, which means faster thinking, better memory, and even improved mood. So, where do you find omega-3s? Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are some of the best sources. Just 2 servings a week can make a noticeable difference. Walnuts and flax seeds are great plant-based options. Try sprinkling ground flax seed on your oatmeal or yogurt in the morning. Chia seeds are another powerhouse. Add them to smoothies or make a simple chia pudding. Now, here's something fascinating. Studies have shown that people who eat more omega-3s have slower mental decline as they age. In fact, one study found that older adults with higher levels of omega-3s had larger brains, meaning their brains were aging more slowly than those who didn't get enough. But omega-3s are just one piece of the puzzle. Your brain also thrives on antioxidants, those little warriors that fight off damage from free radicals, the harmful molecules that can wear down your brain over time. So where do you find antioxidants? Blueberries are often called brain berries because they're packed with flavonoids that improve memory and delay brain aging. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are loaded with vitamins E and K, which protect brain cells. Beets are another superstar. They boost blood flow to the brain, helping you think more clearly. And here's a fun tip. Dark chocolate, the kind with at least 70% cocoa, is actually great for your brain. It's full of flavonoids, which improve blood flow and can even help you solve problems faster. So yes, you can indulge. Just keep it to a square or 2 a day. Now, let's talk about something just as important as what you should eat. What you shouldn't. Too much sugar and processed food can actually shrink the part of your brain responsible for memory. That's right. Those cookies, sodas, and packaged snacks aren't just bad for your waistline. They're bad for your brain, too. One study found that people who consumed a lot of sugary drinks had smaller brain volumes and worse memory than those who didn't. And processed foods, like chips, frozen meals, and fast food, are often high in unhealthy fats that cause inflammation, which can speed up brain aging. So next time you're at the grocery store, ask yourself, is this food going to help my brain or hurt it? Small choices add up to big results over time. Secret number 2, move your body to wake up your mind. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Exercise? At my age? But hear me out. You don't need to run a marathon or lift heavy weights to give your brain a boost. In fact, one of the best things you can do for your brain is simply walking. A brisk 30-minute walk a few times a week gets your blood pumping, delivers more oxygen to your brain, and even helps grow new brain cells. And here's something fascinating. Studies show that people who walk regularly have larger hippocampi. That's the part of the brain tied to memory. That means walking doesn't just maintain your brain, it can actually help reverse some of the shrinkage that happens with age. But if walking isn't your thing, don't worry. Dancing, swimming, gardening, anything that gets you moving counts. The key is to find something you enjoy so you'll stick with it. Let me tell you about my friend, Helen. She's 78 and loves line dancing. She started going to classes a few years ago, and not only does she have a blast, but she's noticed her memory is sharper, her balance is better, and she even feels more energetic throughout the day. Why does movement help so much? It increases blood flow to the brain, which means more oxygen and nutrients to keep brain cells healthy. It releases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that helps brain cells grow and form new connections. It reduces stress hormones like cortisol, which can damage the brain over time. And here's a pro tip. If you really want to challenge your brain, try adding a little balance work, like standing on one foot while brushing your teeth or walking heel to toe in a straight line. These small exercises improve coordination and force your brain to stay engaged. Secret number 3, never stop learning. Your brain craves challenge. Here's the truth. Your brain loves a good challenge. It thrives when you learn something new. Think about it like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weaker. But if you stretch it, push it a little, it grows stronger. That's why one of the best ways to keep your mind sharp is to keep learning. And no, I'm not talking about going back to school, unless you want to. It can be as simple as picking up a new hobby, painting, playing an instrument, woodworking, learning a few words of a new language. Try an app like Duolingo for just 10 minutes a day. Playing brain games, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, chess, or even card games like bridge. My neighbor, Frank, took up chess at 75, and now he plays online with his grandkids every weekend. Not only does he love it, but his memory and problem-solving skills have noticeably improved. The key is to pick something that interests you. If you've always wanted to try knitting, give it a shot. If you love crossword puzzles, keep doing them. But maybe switch to a slightly harder level to keep your brain on its toes. And here's a little bonus. Socializing while you learn, like joining a book club or a gardening group, gives your brain a double boost. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. You know, when I first started researching brain health, I came across a story that really stuck with me. It was about a man named Robert, a retired teacher who, at 82, decided to learn how to play the piano. Now, Robert had never played an instrument before in his life. His family thought he was a little crazy. After all, isn't learning something new supposed to get harder as we age? But Robert didn't let that stop him. He started with simple scales, just a few minutes a day. At first, his fingers fumbled. He'd get frustrated, laugh at himself, and try again. And then, something amazing happened. After a few months, not only could he play a few songs, but he noticed his memory was sharper. He could recall names easier, his focus improved, and he even felt more alive. Now, why am I telling you this? Because Robert's story proves something incredibly important. Your brain never loses its ability to grow. No matter your age, you can always build new connections, learn new skills, and keep your mind razor sharp. And that brings us to our next secret. One that might just change the way you think about your daily routine. Secret number 4, sleep is your brain's reset button, and why skimping on it ages you faster. Let me ask you something. How did you sleep last night? If you're like a lot of folks over 70, you might have said, not great. Maybe you wake up a few times or you don't feel as rested as you used to. Well, here's something you need to know. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's when your brain cleans itself. Think of your brain like a busy office. All day long it's taking calls, filing memories, solving problems. And just like an office, it generates waste, little proteins and toxins that need to be cleared out. During deep sleep, your brain flushes all that away, like a nightly janitorial service. But if you don't get enough deep sleep, those toxins build up. One of them, called beta amyloid, is directly linked to memory problems. In fact, studies show that people who consistently get poor sleep have more of this protein in their brains. Now here's the good news. You can improve your sleep. No pills required. Try this. Keep a consistent bedtime. Your brain loves routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day trains your body to sleep better. Avoid screens an hour before bed. The blue light from TVs and phones tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime. Try a brain dump. If worries keep you up, keep a notepad by your bed. Write down anything on your mind before you sleep. It's like telling your brain, you don't need to hold on to this tonight. My friend Evelyn swears by this last one. She used to lie awake for hours replaying conversations from 30 years ago. Sound familiar? Now she spends 5 minutes jotting down her thoughts and she's asleep before her head hits the pillow. Secret from your social circle is a brain-boosting superpower. Now, let me tell you about my favorite study on aging and the brain. Researchers followed a group of seniors for over a decade, tracking their social habits and brain health. Guess what they found? The people who stayed socially active, meeting friends, joining clubs, even just chatting with neighbors, had significantly slower memory decline than those who were more isolated. In fact, some of their brains looked years younger on scans. Why? Because conversation is like a full-body workout for your brain. When you're engaged in a good chat, you're listening and processing information, formulating responses, reading facial expressions and tone, recalling memories to share stories. It's constant mental stimulation, and it's fun. Take my cousin, George. After his wife passed, he spent a lot of time alone. His kids worried about him. He seemed quieter, more forgetful. Then, on a whim, he joined a weekly coffee group at his local senior center. Just a bunch of folks shooting the breeze about sports, grandkids, you name it. Within months, his daughter told me, "It's like he's 10 years younger. He's laughing again, telling his old stories. He even started remembering birthdays without his calendar." So, if you take nothing else from today, remember this. Stay connected. Call an old friend. Join a book club. Volunteer. Even small interactions. Chatting with your mail carrier, smiling at the cashier. Keep your brain engaged. A bonus tip. Laughter really is the best medicine. Before we wrap up, I have to share one last quick story. A few years back, I met a woman named Rose at a laughter yoga class. Yes, that's a real thing. Rose was 85 and had the energy of someone half her age. When I asked her secret, she grinned and said, "I never miss my daily dose of silliness." Turns out she wasn't kidding. Every morning, Rose watched funny animal videos. At lunch, she'd call her sister just to trade jokes. "You can't be stressed and laughing at the same time," she told me. And science backs her up. Laughter reduces stress hormones that harm the brain. Releases endorphins, your brain's feel-good chemicals. Even improves blood flow, giving your brain a healthy boost. So, don't underestimate the power of a good chuckle. Watch a classic comedy. Share a funny memory with a friend. Your brain will thank you. Now, we've covered some powerful tools today. From the magic of deep sleep to the brain-boosting power of friendship. But here's what matters most. You don't have to do everything at once. Pick one thing to start with. Maybe it's adding walnuts to your salad or calling an old friend this week. Small steps lead to big changes. And in our final part, we'll talk about how to put all these secrets together into a simple, joyful routine. Because keeping your mind sharp shouldn't feel like work. It should feel like living. So tell me in the comments, which of these tips resonated most with you? Have you noticed how sleep or socializing affects your memory? I'd love to hear your stories. And if you're enjoying this series, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the last part. Until then, here's to a sharper, brighter mind at any age. You know, when my grandfather turned 80, he planted an apple tree in his backyard. When I asked why, since it would take years to bear fruit, he just smiled and said, The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. That wisdom applies perfectly to our brain health, too. It's never too late to start nurturing your mind. And today, we're going to wrap up with the final secrets that tie everything together. Simple, joyful habits that keep your thinking crisp and your memories vivid for years to come. But first, let me tell you about my neighbor, Louise. Secret number 6, the power of purpose. How a simple why protects your brain. Louise retired at 65 after decades as a school librarian. At first, she loved the freedom, sleeping in, puttering around the house. But after a year, she started feeling fuzzy, more forgetful, less like herself. Then her granddaughter asked her to help with a community storytime program, just 1 hour a week reading to toddlers. Within months, "I feel 10 years younger," she told me. "Those little faces light up when I do the voices. How could I not?" What Louise discovered was purpose, one of the most powerful brain protectors we have. Studies show that seniors with strong senses of purpose are 2.5 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's, maintain better memory function, even live longer. Your purpose doesn't need to be grand. It could be teaching your great-granddaughter to bake your famous cookies, volunteering at the local animal shelter, maintaining the neighborhood butterfly garden, even just being the family historian who keeps the stories alive. As neurologist Dr. Ken Robbins puts it, a brain with a why finds the how to keep going. Secret number 7, stress less, remember more. The surprising link between calm and cognition. Now let's talk about something we all deal with, stress. Mild stress is normal, but chronic stress? It literally shrinks your hippocampus, the memory center of your brain. I learned this the hard way when I cared for my husband during his illness. The constant worry left me struggling to recall simple words. My doctor explained, stress hormones fog your brain like morning mist on a mirror. Here's what helped me, and thousands of others. The 4-7-8 breath. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale for 8 seconds. Do this just 3 times whenever you feel tense. It triggers your relaxation response almost instantly. Nature's reset button. A study from the University of Michigan found that seniors who spent just 20 minutes daily in nature, gardening counts, had significantly better memory scores. My friend Sam calls his tomato plants his anti-Alzheimer's medication. Putting it all together. Your brain healthy day. Let me introduce you to Walter, an 88-year-old from Minnesota who follows what he calls his 3M's routine. Morning. Serves himself a brain smoothie. Spinach, blueberries, flaxseed, and almond milk. Does 15 minutes of gentle yoga while listening to his favorite jazz album. Works on his lifelong project, learning Italian to read Dante in the original. Midday. Walks to the community center for chess club, social plus mental workout. Takes a 20-minute non-sleep deep rest break, lying down with eyes closed. Evening. Shares dinner with his neighbor. They take turns cooking. Jots down one happy memory from the day in his journal. Reads fiction. Studies show novels boost empathy and cognitive flexibility. Walter's secret. I don't do anything I hate. If it feels like medicine, I find a better way. Your brain health journey works the same way. Don't focus on what you should do. Find what brings you. Joy, that dopamine boost helps memory. Connection, social bonds build cognitive reserve. Curiosity, learning keeps neural pathways supple. Try this today. Pick one tiny change from what we've covered. Maybe. Your turn, start where you are. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought from 102-year-old pianist Alice Hertz Sommer. I look where it is good. This is the secret of life. Swap your afternoon cookie for a handful of walnuts. Call a friend instead of watching the news. Hum a tune while watering your plants. Music pub movement, our brain gold. When 96-year-old neurologist Dr. Oliver Sacks was asked how to maintain a sharp mind, he said, take walks, cultivate friendships, and remain interested in the world. That's really what these secrets are about, not adding chores to your life, but rediscovering the everyday pleasures that keep your brain nourished and engaged. I'd love to hear, which of these ideas resonated most with you? What's one small change you'll try this week? Share in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos about thriving at any age. Remember, every small step counts. As my grandfather's apple tree reminds me, today's planting is tomorrow's harvest. Here's to your brightest, sharpest years ahead.